Yes, coming at your peril on an average approach shot. This guy's backhand down the line is world class. Saw him seal the deal against Del Potro with it. It's not an easy shot when you're hitting a smash coming forward, folks, because 99 times out of 100 you're actually going back to hit a smash. It's the movement you're more familiar with.
Things continue to roll for Federer, who has been frighteningly efficient, not just this week, but at this event the last handful of years. And there's the hole to get on the board first. The gambit by Goffin to try to receive and maybe get in Federer's service game is all for naught.
A 91st hold in a row for Roger Federer, dating back to previous years here at Cincinnati. That's how tough he's been to break. But why has he been so tough to break? That's the million-dollar question. Well, first of all, look at the accuracy of his first serve here. Finds the corner so well. Plenty of aces to all four different corners. Then, of course, he gets to use his forehand if the first serve does come back. The Red Bulls are the forehand. He takes the ball nice and early. And look, most of the time when he's attacking with the forehand, he's sitting there about 5.5 feet inside the baseline, taking it on the rise, bullying his opponents. And of course, when the forehand is firing, it is almost as untouchable as the serve. It's that pronged attack, that two-pronged attack of Federer that so difficult to live with.
Abbreviated saber as Federer takes a good 1.5-meter step in to try to take some time away from Goffin, but just a bit rushed. David also likes to take the ball early. That's part of the recipe for success for the Belgian, is that he is aggressive and he can strike the ball cleanly. And he does well to match Federer with a hold. His is unblemished.
I remember the first time these guys played at the French Open back in 2012. Goffin had come through qualifying. We hadn't really heard much of him. Boy, did he impress that day when he played Federer. Lost in 4 sets. You could see back then the shot making, the backhand down the line already was such a major weapon.
Yeah, that being in the round of 16 6 years ago on the Taraba 2. Took the opening set. Got up on Roger early. Something he needs to do today. Federer with his second double fault already.
For a relatively small tennis nation, the Belgians have done so well over the years.
15.
Don't have the biggest population to choose from, but technically they are so good. Justine Henin, Kim Kleisters, Xavier Malisse, the Rockus brothers. This guy.
Where would that have emerged from? Where do you see? Because a lot of that, the Rockus brothers and Malisse, as well as Kleisters and Enna, are sort of from the same generation. There's that same little background. But prior to that Belgian history, was there a lot to really influence that group?
40, 50.
Yeah, I don't see too much in their history that would suggest that we're going to produce players of that ilk.
Sure.
I mean, world class, right? And we're talking multiple major champions.
Yeah. And a couple disciplines. Obviously, Anna and Kleister's grabbing up a number of major titles. And across the board doubles play also. Olivier Rochus, Christoph. Well, serve and volley from Federer doesn't work, but the ace to finish off game 3 does. So a quality start for both from the line as Goffin in the mix early. 3 games on the board and the 2 seed enjoying a 1-game lead.
This country hasn't done too badly for itself either.
Switzerland?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's ask you this. Chocolate.
Yes.
Because Belgium's pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean, we might have to save that out of the break events, change events.
Fair
Discuss that when we come out of the change events, Kevin.
Let's hold that on the back burner. Well, not on the back burner. We don't want it to melt.
No.
They've been pretty good this week. I know Robbie Konig's giving a thumbs up or maybe even an A grade for sure. The DJ at center court all week long, entertaining and using apropos tunes. Perhaps the lads from Dublin and their hit, Rattle and Hum Days, Desire. That's certainly a worthwhile choice in consideration of what Goffin is trying to accomplish today. You think about the course of his history and what he has done. A couple of 500 level events and getting to finals, twice in Tokyo, once in Rotterdam. Last year's Nitto ATP finals, that's it. I mean, that's a lot, kudos to him. But he's trying to get to the final now in his first semifinal at a Masters 1000 to the last day at such an event.
Big ask.
And to do so against a guy who is all too familiar trying to get through his 48th semifinal at the Masters 1000.
15.
Don't forget, Roger's been in 148 finals across this. It's a joke, isn't it?
Now you're just piling on.
It's a joke. There's players who haven't won 148 matches on tour. Decided to receive first this evening at Goffin. To keep an eye on the speed of the serve. That first serve looked a little slow. There you go, 94 miles an hour, that one there.
30-15.
Federer almost undone by the lack of pace on that one. He's been unlucky with injuries in the last 18 months, hasn't he? And he slipped on the top, the back of the court at the French Open, did his ankle, had a couple of knee problems as a result of compromising his movement with his ankle.
Yeah, another quality hold, despite the double faults, to get to 2-all.
And then he got hit in the eye in Rotterdam.
I was going to say he would have preferred, you say he took a shot to the chin in Rotterdam, but he would have preferred that to taking it in the eye in the match against Dimitrov.
Yeah. Of course, my former doubles partner, actually, I wouldn't say ended his career, but really put paid to a few more years for Thomas Johansson, also in Rotterdam, actually.
15.
Seems to be over all those now. Certainly in his match against Del Potro yesterday. It's the best I've seen him play in a long, long time.
2 tiebreak sets over the Argentine. They really had to show a vast array of ways to go about winning points. It wasn't just straightforward, and Delpo certainly wasn't handing over. The reins to move through to the semis.
I mentioned it in the previous change of ends. Switzerland versus Belgium. There's Sevluti on the right. Danny Troxler in the middle with the Lever Cup hat on. His long-time physio. Who wins the battle of the chocolate between Switzerland and Belgium?
Yeah, it's a toughie, isn't it? I mean, Switzerland's got a lot of the pub here, particularly in the United States, with different varieties. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to run through the list of the different. One begins with a T, one begins with an L. But nonetheless, Belgians, they pride themselves on, well, 3 things, don't they, in so many ways? Beer, waffles, chocolate.
First serve.
First serve. Can't be a first serve, can it? I mean, the guy's got no play on that whatsoever.
Monsieur Bacci in the chair. And Federer had his issues last night with Fergus Murphy, didn't he? Now he's starting to already.
Oh, wow. I can't believe he's having to replay this. No, Goffin's given it to him, I think. Yeah, rightly so. Good sportsmanship there from Goffin.
And a hesitation for the moment, but no call. And Federer takes a slow stroll to the chair, already a bit disheveled with how things have gone. But you wouldn't know it looking at the scoreboard, would you? 13 minutes in, on serve. Federer out in front, 3-2.
I mean, the top 2 seeds for the chocolate would have to be Côte d'Or coming from Belgium and Lindt coming from Switzerland.
Oh, you're going to go there. All right. I appreciate that. Good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think 1 and 2.
Why not?
But I think the Swiss might have it only just with the good old Lindt balls. Tough to beat those things. Only come in pairs. Can inhale them. That's how good they are.
It's already starting to get heated here, and it's not even really so much on the surface floor inside center court. It's about the chocolate war. Tuscher and Lindt. Yeah, the French that also would like to have a word with you. So would Brussels. I mean,
oh, get out of here! The French chocolate don't even compare to Swiss and the Belgian.
Valrhona. Okay, all right. Godiva.
Not bad. Not bad. But I think Lindt and Côte d'Or will battle it out in the finals tomorrow.
All right, fair enough. Goffin looking to spoil the party of Djokovic and Federer. He served well. Dropped just a single point in 2 efforts so far. We haven't even broached the subject of more pedestrian tennis topics as of yet, Robbie, but your thoughts on, you know, the absolutely exhausted elephant in the room, the fact that both players, look at Goffin's coach, had to do double duty yesterday. First of all, where do you rate the effort that each had to put in, considering, you know, nice win by a Federer over Mayer, and good friend Wawrinka, but what Goffin had to do against Anderson and Del Potro, 2 top 10 players, and also what it means to inform this match in front of us.
slice of luck there. Yeah, I think a good thing for both of them. The first match was pretty quick. Federer mentioned that. I'd much prefer to have that tougher match being the second one. These guys are supremely fit athletes. You know, they're used to being good to go for 5 sets. So I think to play 4 sets in a day, 5 sets in the case of Federer, is very doable with a break in between. And I think their bodies will be holding up just fine. That's why they're the best in the sport.
15.
That serve certainly been one of the best of all time. Its accuracy is what does the job. It's not always the speed for Roger. See how quickly Goffin gets across the baseline to the shot. He's out of picture there, and suddenly he's just rifling another one cross court.
30-15.
Very rarely see Roger hit a serve over about 125. So many unreturned serves. I think yesterday in his match against Stan. Oh, wow. How do you like that?
That was returned with fervor. Miles per hour off the racket of Goffin as he works his way into Federer's 4th service game, and Roger shuts down that threat. A 4th ace. As goes number 5, and that is truly neutralization of any threat. The closest either has gotten to the other serve at 30 all thus far. A duel from the line between Goffin and Federer to start in semifinal number 2 in Cincinnati.
Some of the latest tennis styles online now at Midwest Sports. Find the largest selection of tennis shoes online. Top brands, easy to shop, expert service. Run by tennis players for tennis players. Midwest Sports. And make the most of your Western and Southern Open experience with the official Western and Southern mobile app. It is loaded with handy features to pin your car so you'll never forget where you park. Use the searchable vending map to easily navigate the entire site. Or sign up for push notifications and you'll have all the most up-to-date scores, schedules, player appearances, and more. That's the Western and Southern Open mobile app. Download it tonight.
David Goffin, and now finding himself in unaccustomed territory. In fact, he's done well to put himself in this position at all, considering his North American hard court appearances previously yielded just a couple of quarterfinal results. Back-to-back in 2016 in Indian Wells and Miami. Now, having reached the last 8 in Cincinnati, that's 3 of the 4 events here. We were talking about the wear and tear on the bodies for both of these gentlemen coming into today's matchup, but truthfully, Goffin had a lot of energy to burn. Didn't have to labor too hard in Toronto last week as he was one and done. His opening match against Milos Raonic saw him swept aside in straight sets. So arrived here in Mason, Ohio, relatively fresh with some fuel to burn. I think to your point, Robbie, is he's a stalwart of working on the practice court. Loves to get out and put in extra time to work on the physical nature of his game, moving in on the line, almost as if tethered to the baseline. Taking the ball early. See if he can apply that to Federer. He's already served magnificently. Stretched out, put some pressure on.
15.
Great set of wheels. Terry van Kleemput. What a great name. That's quintessentially Belgian front left. Sam Summick keeping an eye on things. Here, of course, Sam, the coach of Goffin Muguruza. Enjoying some men's tennis action tonight. I saw Terry and I always remind him of what a great surname he's got. It's a cool name. He says, it's not the coolest Belgian name though, Robbie. He says that belongs to Van Damme. I said, okay.
Four-namer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jean-Luc?
Jean-Claude.
Jean-Claude. Just checking if you remember. Yeah, this is Goffin at his best right here, really being able to match Federer and actually exceed the Swiss Master's abilities from the line. He's only lost 2 points on serve and a perfect 10 on his first offering. About the quickness of Federer off the blocks there, recognizing already coming in almost as if underhanded. 81 miles per hour, 81. Federer will feast on that, so that second serve was vulnerable and he made him pay. But first serves continue to be perfect. 11 of 11 now. Goffin looks down the court, says, how you like me now?
Call that a Rafa. 11 of 11.
Oh boy. Rafa, okay. I'm going to mark. I'm keeping track of all of them today. Right?
Nadia's 10 out of 10 for obvious reasons, right?
Okay.
Montreal, 1976.
100%.
You know where I'm coming from?
10 out of 10 on the uneven bars.
Love 15.
Enforced errors early on again from Roger. I said 10 winners, 5 of which are aces, so.
Good acceleration, racket it through as Federer's trying to get Goffin on the move and really take him out of the comfort position of being able to just slide laterally with ease. Out on the stretch, a little more difficult. And he'll need to more do of that, Robbie, because so far Goffin actually has been out gunning Federer from the baseline.
He certainly has. 12-4. Just shows you once Goffin is able to get back in the point, he's the one who's making all the inroads.
40-15.
Not on that occasion. That just shows you how good Federer's serve is, doesn't it? How many free points he gets of it. How many in returns. How many aces. Another speedy hold by the looks of things here at 40-15. Doesn't expend much energy when stepping up to the line. That's a massive help.
Well, they both continue on just 5 minutes shy of a half hour. Already 9 games on the board, and so far there have been not even a handful of points dropped.
DJ was rocking the song earlier on in the week in the food court area.
Mr. William Idol?
Yep. A couple of good rock songs, didn't he?
Steve Stevens, his guitarist, one of the best. I mean, able to really get out. What do you got? Rebel Yell, you got White Wedding.
White Wedding was
Eyes Without a Face.
Bopping and weaving with my white moccasins and white belt back in the mid to late 80s.
But I'm not sure you can do a whole lot better than this classic. It's been a brilliant start to this second semifinal on our second to last day of coverage. We hope you'll join us again, tennis fan, tomorrow for the Western and Southern Open final round. And already awaiting Novak Djokovic for his 6th try at a title in Cincinnati. 5 times denied, 5 times without winning a single set. 3 of them to the man who is currently in the lead on the scoreboard by virtue of 1 extra serve, Roger Federer. Twice also to Andrew Murray, who was tripped up early, and that just leaves Federer as the only man to prevent him from winning this title previously. Goffin has been just brilliant so far, serving to stay in the opening set.
15.
First serve points won. It's Goffin who's been impressive. 12 out of 12 now.
That 5 of 8 on the second serve is pretty darn good. Right in front of Federer, seemed to be thrown off. Thought that was going to travel a bit long, and his timing just cut short as Goffin continues on uninterrupted. Of a rumble.
And Federer was ready to run around his backhand there and club a forehand. I like that move.
Tennis fans here pretty savvy. They must recognize this is the closest Federer's been yet.
He's not happy with that missed return. Again, a first serve that doesn't even reach triple digits.
And I think recognition also watching Federer start to move in, looking to tee off. I mean, that was coming in at 72 miles per hour if it cleared the net. That is batting practice. And now can't find the box.
Oh, wow. Federer just covering. Backhand down the line. Goffin choosing a nice big target here, and aggressive shot right over that center strap. Lowest part of the net.
And that's what we're talking about, how Goffin can give as good as he gets with his ability to hang on the baseline. Federer put some extra mustard on the return, but David was not to be displayed.
Video of astonishing Goffin backhands.
Just found the line. Goffin gives an extra look, no challenge, and looked as if he was right to just walk to the other side. First backhand winner of the day for Roger.
There's Old Faithful. Again, look at the shot, not the shot clock, the service speed in the background there, 122 miles an hour. It's the accuracy that does the damage. This is going to be another Federer special. service game that lasts around 60 seconds.
Yeah,
like the stop clock, and yes, well, technically a couple ticks over, Rob. That was magical work by the maestro as he shuts down Goffin's bid for a return once again.
Serve so much energy on serve, so he can put a lot of energy into breaking his opponents. And obviously if he gets an early break in a set, so often he just cruises through his own service games, and a 6-4 set for Roger Federer versus a lot of the other players means that he's actually hardly spent a lot of energy.
Dazzling night for tennis fans from all over the greater Cincinnati area that extends in a wide circle that just goes out and extends and expands and grows and grows. Major cities within the area and the region, of course, Chicago, Illinois, Nashville, Tennessee. All tennis fans in the hotbed, the middle of the American heartland, love to come from far and wide to drive here, but they fly in too, Robbie. I mean, they love it. All 50 states are said to be represented as having sold a ticket in the weeks prior to this tournament to come here. Marvelous showing that's been put on thus far, particularly from the line for both. Goffin serving for the second time to stay in set number 1. Just can't help but think now is put up, will be put down. And one opening set hanging in the balance as Federer makes the first move.
You know what I've loved about Cincinnati is that it's not your traditional big city where we play tennis. And here he comes, all guns blazing now. Suddenly, Federer has found his forehand.
You mentioned it, he was conserving. Lost 6 points in his opening 5 service games already against it. Aggressive at nature from Federer.
It's a cheap miss from Roger. Here's Mirka. Just a slight miss. It came up on a fraction. Well, he's knocked the fluff off that one. A big-time play on a big-time point from Roger. An elastic whip that does the job.
Lone break point of the opening set comes at the 35-minute mark, and Goffin on the ropes.
Those are 2 forehands of rich quality. Man, oh man, the first one in particular. Terry Van Klampert must be delighted with this charge. No room to maneuver. He's got to bring it, and he does.
Replay the point.
Right on the line, plumb on the line. I'm surprised Hans Persson has called that one out. It's got a decent chunk of it.
Yeah, it caught more than its share of the back half, and Goffin gave a little extra look just to make sure, maybe bide himself a little extra time as they replay the point.
Let for service.
And the struggles have started to manifest themselves these last couple of games. That's his 4th double fault overall, but his 3rd in these last 2 efforts. Can he extricate himself once again under the threat of a 2nd set point? Yes, he can.
Well, Roger was challenging that one while it was still going past him.
Well, he might be a touch embarrassed. He looks back 96 miles per hour. It snuck past. Did it indeed find its way on the line? Goffin's first ace hanging in the balance.
Yes. Just licking a bit of the line.
Mr. Goffin changing the ball on the left near sideline. The ball was rolled out.
Now, this one was close, and it certainly was tailing away from the court. Did it actually find its way just to the edge? Because that's about all we could expect that it might have found. And it did not.
Advantage Federer.
Federer's 3rd bid for a 1-set advantage.
That inside and forehand so well. Strings his rackets very loosely. With the old Luxalon poly strings in there. Just create a lot of spin. Such a great tennis IQ. He sees the angles of the court so clearly in his mind. Most players would go inside out there, but not him. He's seen something else, and the movement of Federer in his peripheral view. He knows back behind is the shot.
It did so well to stay in the court. A lot of people might have backed up, retreated. He hung in, found the shot he wanted.
Correction.
Federer starting to get a bit perturbed. It was called out, corrected from the chair.
It's way in.
Yeah.
I think this is inside the baseline.
Yeah, this line judge is starting to take some heat, and the stare from Federer was chilling.
All I could say is that Pierre Bacci's been spot on in the last 2 overalls that he's made.
And Goffin is fortunate. He put himself in danger to begin with, the architect of what could have been his demise in this set, but he serves his way out of trouble. Well done for the Belgian. So why not? 41 minutes, back and forth tennis. Expert execution from the line from both.
They both have played some important tiebreakers in their previous matches, Kev. In fact, it was the opening set of both of their previous matches they had to play tiebreakers in.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Not only the opening set, but both sets for both, because Goffin got past Del Potro in 2 tiebreak sets, and Federer against Stan Wawrinka split him. Yeah,
an easy shot to play that. When slice on slice, the ball naturally goes down off your strings. You see, Roger is really swinging out here. He's trying to exaggerate some racket head speed. He feels that's what's lacking.
Federe.
Skipped through as the first point won by the server in this tiebreak, and things have really been ratcheted up by Federer as he tries to bring more pace off the ground. He's really been trying to be the authoritative figure on the court today. 17 winners to 16 errors. Take it to Goffin, a 4-1 start.
4-1, Federe.
Had a very poor opening set tiebreaker against Wawrinka. Mentioned it after the match. Remember, he missed it half-forehand volley. It really did set him off on the wrong path. A much better second one.
And we're just talking about the last 3 tiebreaks. Don't forget, he needed a tiebreak, did Roger, to get past the Argentine mayor in the round prior to facing Wawrinka. So 4 tiebreaks in his last 5 sets here.
Just here, the chair umpire call for the physio for Goffin. Now, I did hear rumours that he might be struggling with a little bit of a shoulder injury, and that's why we've been keeping an eye on the first serve speed of the Belgian.
th set these two have played in, just the second tiebreak that they have encountered, and if their only other previous one is any indicator, we might be here a while. In Halle back in 2016, the quarterfinals, Federer won straight sets but won the tiebreak 12-10 in the second.
Catch up to that one. Adorned with all manner of spin and kick.
And so the man born on the 8th day of the 8th month has his 8th ace to put himself a point away from a 1-set lead. Potentially a spot in his 8th final, or vying for his 8th title here.
Yeah.
And there it is, Roger Federer able to get past Goffin. It wasn't easy, but it is a job well done by both, but someone had to push forward, and Federer, the better man when it mattered most. Pulling out through the tiebreak, and 1 set from facing Djokovic in the final tomorrow.
Yeah. Have you taken anything for medication? You want to take something? Yeah. Take a medical? Take a medical. We do pop tea or just a regular tea?
Not a sight that anybody who would be a fan of not only the semifinal but David Goffin. The current medical assessment being made prior to the medical timeout or having to step out, Robbie. There is the right shoulder that you alluded to, the idea that perhaps there was some discomfort prior to the match there, and now ATP physio is attending to that right shoulder.
Yeah, there's a little muscle there that tennis players are always so aware of, Kevin, called your infraspinatus, and that looks awfully close to where the physio is rubbing now. So, such an important stabilizing muscle in the shoulder. Whenever you see players using the elastic bands, they often warm up, exercising that muscle, strengthening it. You want to be really strong in your back and your shoulder area as a tennis player. Of course, he's played a lot of tennis this week against quality opponents. Tsitsipas, Pair, Anderson, Del Potro. Remember, a couple of matches yesterday that would have put an additional burden on the body. Let's just hope that this is a little bit of an overuse injury that just needs a few days rest if it is anything serious, because this young man has been plagued by problems in the last 18 months or so.
And it isn't the wear and tear. I mean, the shoulder injury, obviously, from a lot of work being done over the course of this week and being able to knock off arguably one of the most informed players. Anderson and Del Potro, but some of those are just freak accidents. I mean, just stuff that just, you know, caught him off guard and unfortunate in every facet.
One especially playing so well last year. I remember his match against Nadal in Monte Carlo, where he got the most rotten of calls against Rafa. And really struggled after that. So he was playing at the peak of his powers. He goes to Roland Garros after the clay court season, and you know, has that incident where he slips on the top.
Yeah.
And of course, injures his right ankle, and then, you know, I think it was the third round against Horacio Zeballos to withdraw from Hertogenbosch, Queens, and Wimbledon. Then, of course, perhaps came back a little too early, had a few knee problems because he was making adjustments with the way he was running because of the ankle injury.
Wrapping up the final seconds of the 3-minute medical timeout, part of the shot clock that has come into play, obviously for serving purposes, but also very useful in the cases of medical timeouts that are taken too. Just kind of let fans, television programmers, directors, everybody associated know where they stand. So Goffin now, see if that shoulder is loose enough to continue the tremendous tear that he exhibited from the line to keep pace with Federer to force the tiebreak. Again, was serving magnificently through his opening 5 games, didn't face a single break point, then had to save 3 set points against his serve in game 12. Roger Federer set to the good in semifinal number 2 today as Belgium's David Goffin. Trying to test the right shoulder and see if he can get back into the mix.
15 all.
This is Federer in full flow. Combination of shots here is so beautiful. A slice backhand and then the whipped forehand. Look at the angle on that. That angle wasn't even there. So Federer's manufactured it. So good at dealing with a short central ball is this guy.
30 all.
Defends incredibly well out of the corners. Oh, there's a ticket to the party.
30-14.
Often that you can see a player will make Federer look imbalanced at the back of the court. He doesn't know which way to go. Goffin just holds that shot till the very last minute before choosing where he wants to hit the ball.
Advantage.
And Goffin escapes the early threat, as Federer can't make the most of an early break point in set number 2. Well, if you weren't with us at the outset, Robbie said something that would seem absolutely astonishing, and so it bears repeating. And if you were listening at the start of this show, you're scratching your head going, certainly he can't be right. So let's reiterate what has gone on with Roger Federer at this specific event the last handful of years. Now, granted, he took a couple years off, but if you go all the way back to the 2014 final against David Federe, Roger held the last 5 times he stepped to the line. When he defended his title the following year in 2015, he held serve 49 out of 49 times. He's held 6 times today and has not been broken once this week.
15.
He is now starting his 97th game, and he hasn't been broken in the previous 96.
He's pretty good.
He's all right. But we had to confirm that. That is not alternative facts or fake news. That is spot on, according to Steph Trudell, our oracle of tennis knowledge and statistical information. Just going to let that marinate a little while, Robbie.
It's incredible, man. I'm always astounded how the likes of Djokovic, Nadal and Federer just keep getting better and better. They have this incredible will the ability to want to improve.
And for the first time today, Federer taken to deuce by Goffin. Threatening the aforementioned streak.
That's clipped a piece of the line.
That tells you something about the movement of Goffin, that it had to be this exacting, though. And streak intact. If only we had, Robbie, just a little tally on the side with a little bell. We could go 97 on the screen with a little ding.
Yep.
We'll keep the tally for you.
I was talking about these guys' improvements and how the very best in any industry just always strive for betterment. And there were some lovely words from Martin Scorsese about Steven Spielberg. And he was talking about how high Spielberg had set the bar, and he says, well, how do you move on from that? Well, Spielberg says, well, you just get yourself into shape and you just jump over that bar again and again and again. And that really made me think about the likes of Federer and Nadal and Djokovic, because that's what they keep doing, don't they? It's just keep getting better, find a way to get better, just keep doing it and doing it. And at 37, Federer still plugging away, absolutely loves his craft. Same with Rafa. We got Nole coming back now.
And you have to feel for guys like Goffin and wonder, as you talk about the resurgence of Novak and effort by Nadal last week in Toronto, and what Roger's doing here. You know, the fine-tuning of the craftsmen, of the masters of their domain, but also for those who toil just below, in the, not obscurity by any stretch, but what they have to do to try to maintain, to keep the belief that maybe one day I'll get that shot to take any one of them, if not all of them, down.
And he did. This guy did, right? Tail end of last year. That's something. Something he'll remember in his rocking chair years from now, and he'll tell his kids and his grandkids about. I was playing Roger, semi-finals of World Tour finals in London, 17,500 people. Of course, you've got to spice it up. Federer's playing his absolute best, so was I. We went toe-to-toe. Guess who came out on top?
Oh, man. Yep. That's when the rocking chair just starts to creak a little quicker, doesn't it?
Ladies and gentlemen, the junior jury is not able to complete the match.
It's not going to happen. It has. The towel has been thrown on the court. And a somber finish to the second semifinal. David Goffin tried to answer the bell, but could not come out swinging the way he would like, and he has handed Roger Federer the keys to the party house. Federer moves into his 8th final in Cincinnati due to the retirement of the Belgian, and that sets up the delicious encounter that so many, if they have to be honest, we're looking forward to potentially. Federer versus Djokovic for the 4th time in the final of the Western and Southern Open.
Well, that is such a shame. I knew he had some shoulder problems coming into this final. The serve numbers looked a little down, especially on that first serve. It's been a great week though for Goffin. Great wins over Anderson, Del Potro, Tsitsipas early on.
You can see the register of how the disappointment is all over the face of Goffin. Just not the way he wanted to go out, not with the chance that he thought to go toe-to-toe with a man who has had such tremendous results, not just this event with 7 titles, but over the course of his Hall of Fame career. But it is done. And that means Federer is through once again.
And that means a 46th encounter with Novak Djokovic, who leads that head-to-head 23-22. So there's a lot on the line tomorrow.
Oh, is there ever? And boy, will Nole, over the course of tonight, no doubt having watched this match, remember 2009, 6-1, 7-5 to Federer. 2012, 6-love, 7-6 to Federer. 2015, 7-6, 6-3. The 3 losses that Djokovic suffered to Federer on the final day of this event.
A quick look at the numbers will tell us that Federer sought to come in a fair bit, 11 times. Not as successful as he probably would have liked to have been, but nonetheless, winners to unforced errors were some good numbers there. Served very effectively. It's going to be a key shot when he takes on Djokovic tomorrow, isn't it? One of the greatest serves taken on, in my books, the greatest returner I have ever seen. Serving 9 times, not as successful as he probably would have liked to have been, but nonetheless, winners to unforced errors were some good numbers there. Served very effectively. It's going to be a key